everyone, I'm Ashley. Recently, I came across a lot of public speaking and communications masterclasses here in Singapore. I've never really attended this kind of one-day workshop before, so I'm not really sure what to expect or what I will learn from this. Are these masterclasses a scam or do they really work? Join me today as I jump into U of T Party's first ever Communications Masterclass to find out more. See you there! I think the biggest reasons why youths fear communication is because of the fear of being judged. I think we can all agree that communication is an important skill to have, but the problem comes when you're supposed to do it in front of a bunch of people, especially those that you don't even know that well. So that's why I decided to take a leap of faith today and come to this masterclass. Hopefully it will help me to step out of my comfort zone a little bit, along with the other youths.
A lot of people think that communications is about your relationship with the outside world, right? How you talk to someone else and this and that, etc. And that's true. But I think even more importantly, communications is about your relationship with yourself, your mindset. But as a start, can we start to think about how we can influence how people think and feel differently? If you can influence the way people think and feel differently, think about the opportunities that will come to you in school, at work, etc., in your personal life. So the objective of this masterclass today is to give you an opportunity to practice purposefully in the company of people who are your peers. Okay, so now let's go into your groups. Okay, very, very simple. You'll just take turns to sing to each other. Then you'll just say, hi, my name is, these are my 2 truths and 1 lie. And y'all can guess, and you'll just make friends with each other. That's it, okay? And I will call y'all back when we are done. All right, please carry on.
Okay.
There's no one beside you when your soul embarks, and I will follow you into the dark. Thank you. Okay, so I hope that in future, if you are made to sing, you are made to jump, you're made to this, you're made to that, just go for it. It doesn't matter. Now, on to the proper stuff, okay, that we're here today. From now till lunch, we are going to look at vocal foundations. The voice itself is an instrument. And some people have really nice voices, right, naturally. Some of us don't have that nice voice, but we can train ourselves to improve the quality of our voice. What we're going to do is we're going to read, someone's going to come here, they're going to read a rolled out storybook. I am going to then introduce step by step some of the vocal foundations, and then learning what we learned, we're going to try and apply and see whether that person has improvement or not.
She kept up her screeching all the way through, exhorting Mr. Combs to greater and still greater efforts. And the awful thing was that he seemed to be responding to her cries.
So when you think about this is a story, but when you are speaking and you want to emphasize a point, you can slow down as well.
Can you feel them stretching you? Asked Mr. Twit. I can, cried Mrs. Twit. They are stretching me like mad.
That's because you're an ignorant little twit, the father said. You must be very clever to find a use for something that costs nothing, she said. I wish I could do it.
Well done, excellent. Pausing is one of the most powerful tools that you can have in your arsenal when you're speaking. When you say something that has gravitas, which is like what I just said, right? Pausing. And you pause. That's when the gravitas comes in. Tonality is conveyed through your face. So I want you all, even when you are reading this story, to think about the facial expression. What is legato, staccato, right? So legato is like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Everything is connected. Hello, my name is Sean. Welcome to U of T Party's annual masterclass. Right? Everything is connected. Staccato is when you you break up your words in a particular rhythm.
Oh, very, very slowly. And he will hold his nose high in the air.
You must have that kind of volume, right? But this is still your 6, your 7 only.
Now, that's it. Now some hair.
We just know all about pictures.
Sarah.
Good. 3 spots.
Mr. and Mrs. Bucket. This is Mr. Bucket. This is Mrs. Bucket.
Of course, it's true. Good heavens, didn't you know that?
I'm so chocolate.
3 push-ups.
How do you find the workshop?
I think it's quite exciting. There's a lot of new things that I have not seen before. Like, I used to read Rodal regularly, but I never read it out like that before with so much expression and all. So I thought that was quite cool. Yeah.
Forward to in the later half of the workshop would be
To be doing something that I don't normally do. Speaking in front of a crowd, but getting the feedback straight away. I think that is something that a lot of people are afraid of.
memorable moment that's happened in this workshop so far for you.
It's moments, right? It's the moments where people laugh and people bond over laughter. I think laughter is so powerful, right? It really helps people to retain information, helps people to feel valued and part of the team. So I hope to keep them laughing for the second half. One of the greatest myths in the world of public speaking is that each of us is born with a particular kind of personality. So sometimes you'll say things like, oh, don't get offended lah. The way that this person talks is like that one. These are called vocal archetypes. Number one, motivator. The motivator is always someone that tries to give you the reason why. It's to inspire you so that on your own accord, you all will want to do things. Now next, coach. If a motivator is trying to get you intrinsically to do something, a coach is literally trying to tell you what to do. So as a coach, you have to be very declarative, you have to be very aggressive. So you have to really think about how you will talk to Keen, how you would tell him this story.
Employers are always looking for people who can express their ideas effectively.
I feel like, yeah, because
Not
I
friend.
think you're very formal.
So I'm not supposed to follow the script.
You can go off script lah, yeah. Guide.
You know lah, public speaking.
Yeah,
Public
good.
speaking can seem pretty daunting, right?
Prestigious universities, well-trodden career paths. These are important, and many have achieved great success through them. Responsibility, leadership, respect. These are the things that employers look more to. And after all, based on what LinkedIn has mentioned, communication is one of the most important skills that employers look after. Okay. Well done.
Storytelling, there are 4 kinds of stories in general. Why is storytelling so powerful? Because it's a chemical thing. There are dopamine stories, right? High stakes, dramatic stories. And then there are oxytocin stories, vulnerable stories. Vulnerability is very, very powerful. When you tell stories of vulnerability, instantly people see you as more human. I want to invite 1 or 2 people to come up to just tell their stories first before we apply the framework, before we try to improve it. And then we all can see the improvement. Let me call upon Ashley first, right? Ashley, please. Your VIP projects.
Let me remember my word first before I forget. Okay. I think I have PCD, photography compulsive disorder. If you try and Google that word, you probably won't find it because I just made it up. But the symptoms is very real to me. So I've been obsessed with taking photos since a really, really young age. I remember that at the age of 9, my parents brought me to a zoo in Taiwan. There, while other kids were like screaming at the giant panda, like, "Wow, mommy, I was at the corner trying to clear storage space on my Dropbox and Google Drive so that I could take more photos on my trip. You may call me a very oversensitive, over-sentimental person, but to me, photos are not just a way to capture memories. They are a way to capture my phases of life. And I think being able to document such change has made me a more reflective and a more appreciative person. And in that way, I can experience these moments over and over again. Thank you.
That was great, by the way, right? But I want to say something also, right? That storytelling does not always have to be this dramatic. To me, that was a little bit TED Talkish, which is completely fine. Huh? It works very well. But I think when it's a more intimate setting, this and that, you also can have the ability to try to change the way you do it, make it slightly more muted. So, okay, very well done, Ashley.
Thank you.
At junior college. So it was just one fine day in the lab. I am terrified of science lab.
Can anyone raise your hand? Which one of you will choose the Kong Kwan biscuit? One. Very mindful, very demure.
When you tell a story, you have to always turn information into insight. Keep your story short and always say, the reason I'm telling you this is because. And ladies and gentlemen, the more stories you have about you and the more stories you're able to tell, the clearer your personality shines when you go to an interview, the clearer your personality shines when you're at a networking event. Look at all these different words here. I've given you a whole list of things that you can link your story to. Think about how you're going to change your story to one of these words. Change the message of the story. Same story, different message. Okay, please.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to do.
What was your initial point?
The main point is, it's okay to not live in the moment.
So now you need to find another point.
Yes. Hesitation, stress. Failure. Oh, that's hard eh. If I mean to flip the perspective, I can talk about how not living in the moment has been detrimental for the people around me also. I think that is one thing. First of all, I think that I was a little bit too expressive in the previous talk. So maybe I could like tone it down a little bit and talk a little bit more like when I'm talking to friends, the friends archetype. Yeah, and for the story, I mean the linking part, I feel like it's a really hard challenge. So I will be linking to another 2 extra points on top of my main point about collecting memories. So hopefully it's a different perspective on my story. Yeah.
So there are many different stories you can tell with your real life happenings. A lot of people say, my life is so boring, there's nothing interesting. Let me tell you, the most mundane stories produce the most amazing identities. But I want Ashley to come up again, and I want her to tell the same story, and I want to challenge her to create a different ending. And let's see how that goes, okay? Thanks, Ashley, please.
All right, guys. Just now I talked about my story at a Taiwan zoo. You guys remember what happened? Yes. Yes, correct. While people were fawning over the giant panda, I was sitting in the corner, deleting files on Dropbox. My parents did not even get to travel overseas until they were 20-something. And there I was, a 9-year-old, being a spoiled little brat. Instead of enjoying the zoo trip that they had prepared for me, I was stuck in the corner, focusing on something that was so trivial. So the reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to remember that while trying to make memories, while trying to create as many photos as possible in your album, don't forget about the people who help you create these memories. So in your pursuit for happiness, don't forget about the people around you. Thank you.
So another example, a very clear example of how the same story can have 2 contrasting endings. My friends, you all control your stories. You all control your destiny. You all control how people perceive you. But also, it's okay if you are not there yet. I'm not there yet. None of us are there yet. In fact, I dare say that very few people in the world are there, so to speak. We can always improve. So I thank you all very much again for showing up today and investing in yourself. I think that's great. Thank you very much.
I think
my greatest takeaway is my understanding of what is a good story to tell and what is like not a really good story to tell, which is if there's a purpose, there's like intention in the story.
I think for me definitely was the whole part about storytelling. I think when Sean was telling us like, you know, we can reuse the same few stories in our little story bank and like use it in different ways to tell different endings and to tell different come up with different conclusion points that we can take away.
Yeah, I think the most unexpected and most key takeaway for me is that a story can be repackaged and that there can be different outcomes from a story, right? To draw out different goals or different purposes that you want to tell the audience.
There's different types of archetypes that you can adopt in order to convey different emotions, and that's something quite surprising to me. That so you can adopt different personas based on the content of your speech and change them as needed.
What do you intend to work on when you get back home?
One of the things that he was talking about was definitely trying to record myself in the camera and trying to see what I look like.
Yeah, I think it's definitely creating that repository or that archive of stories that I'm able to tell to draw out different learning outcomes.
I look forward and I hope that there's more workshops and there's greater depth and everything, and so grateful for the chance to be here today.
What do you think was the greatest and most unexpected takeaway from this?
I think the greatest takeaway that I had was that everyone has different speaking styles, because it's very easy to look at YouTube videos of famous speakers and try and emulate the way that they speak, because we feel that is the correct way of speaking. But during today's workshop, I actually saw a lot of people with different speaking styles. Some very casual, some a bit more dramatic like me. Yeah, so I think it was great.
Yeah, no, I thought you did really well. Yeah, and for me, right, the most unexpected thing was the fact that everyone turned up and everyone turned up on time. And everyone was really willing to contribute and learn and give. That was very humbling for me. So I hope you enjoyed today's masterclass, and Youth Tea Party wants to provide much more of this content. So it would really, really help if you liked, shared, and subscribed.
And don't forget to click the notification bell for more updates.
See ya.